Transnet has announced that its freight rail division will be separated into two operating divisions. It is separated into Transnet Infrastructure Manager and Transnet Freight Rail Operations Company. The United National Transport Union has expressed its frustration over the decision. Now, to walk us through this conversation, I'm joined by John Pereira from the United National Transport Union. John, thanks for your time this afternoon. Would you elaborate on UNTU's main concerns regarding the vertical separation of Transnet Freight Rail?
Yes, thank you very much for having us. I think the concerns that we are raising is that we are feeling that management is not up to standard yet. We've raised numerous issues previously with our engagements, and they don't have answers for us. You know, we've been, this TRIMS project has been coming from a long time. If you will recall, a few years back, they started this off with the slot sales. And this is where this whole TRIMS project has come about. The questions that we are asking as Labour is, who's going to fund this TRIMS operation division? And we're not getting answers. We've asked them to tell us how are the separation, how is it going to improve the service, that the delivery that they think is going to happen. But we are not getting any answers. So we are a little bit frustrated. And the frustration even came even more after yesterday's letter from the Group CE stating that they are continuing with the division while we are still busy with engagements. We are still busy with engagement, informing our members what is transpiring and how the division is going to take place and so on. But I think they're running ahead of themselves.
So there are obviously two issues to unpack. One, what is the implication of this decision, of this move on your members, and the concern around the funding of this operation or the separation into the two divisions? Why is this a critical question to be answered for you?
You see, let me give you an example. They've now appointed acting group acting CE for the TRIMS, the operating division. Now the question we're asking is, who's going to pay for this new acting CE? And we don't get answers because the financial constraints that TFR currently have, they don't have money to pay extra people. And the concern that we have is in next year, when the final move is going to be made, when it's official from the 1st of April, the questions we are asking is, who's going to pay these people? Who's going to pay the payroll? Who's going to look after them? And we are not getting answers, and that's the concern that we have. That you know what, you want to split the TFR into two divisions, but you're not telling us how is the other operating division going to be managed, and that's the concern that we have. With regards to the concern with regards to job security, you must remember that. If TFR have to apply, because the slot sales have to be applied for. So if you want any slots in the rail industry now, you have to go through this TRIMS company, and you have to now book yourself slots so that you can operate your trains. Now the concern that we have is you are going to bring all these private sector people in here into the same operating divisions that are not operating. I mean, we're talking about theft. We've asked them, how is the separation going to stop or curb the theft that's running rampant in the TFR environment? And we don't get answers. It's as if management think that, or government think that once we split, there's a magic wand that everything's going to be perfect. The infrastructure is a very complex environment to be in and very expensive. So we are really concerned of where they're going to get the money from.
Okay, obviously, clearly a number of issues to unpack. I'm in conversation with John Pereira from the United National Transport Union. Now, John, a few questions to ask, I suppose, as we carry on this conversation. What are the potential risks to job security for employees affected by this restructuring?
No, the job security is, like I said, you know, once this is final and we are not sure how they are going to be compensated or who's going to take the check, if I can put it that way, who's going to pay these employees that have gone over. This operating division is going to be funded by who? Nobody can give us answers. When we ask them who's going to do the funding, we don't get answers at all. But like I said, the concern that we have with regards to job security is the TFR, the TFROC that's staying behind. Remember, TFR is being divided into 2 operating divisions. Now, the TFR that's staying behind, you must remember that they are now going to compete for slots in the sector, in the rail sector. So if they do not get these slots, then we are looking at job losses, because there's no way the company will continue with the same amount of employees. And that is a concern that we have. Surely we are supposed to, as TFR, if you are going to take away the infrastructure from us, we should at least have the benefit of receiving the most slots, or at least getting, if not all the slots.
Now, John, before we wrap, do you think the involvement of private operators could bring any benefits to the rail freight industry, or will it exacerbate existing challenges?
I think we are not opposed of bringing the private sector in. What we are concerned about is, if you're going to bring them into an environment that's working. Currently, it's not working, and that's why TFR is failing dismally. So it doesn't help if you bring a private sector in here. They're going to have the same concerns, the same problems as we are encountering at the moment. The signaling, it's pathetic. There's places that signaling are not working at all, where trains are running for 20 hours. Now, even if you bring a private sector in, it's not going to help you at all, because first you need to fix the signaling. So what we are saying is, let's fix the system first. Let's fix the infrastructure. And then after that, let's then look at maybe implementing the private sector in. But now what we are doing is we're just bringing the private sector into the same dilapidated system that we are running with. And that's not going to help us at all.
An unhappy United Transport Union representative, John Pereira, disgruntled at the splitting of Freight Rail division into 2 operating divisions by Transnet.